Well, good afternoon, everybody. Agent Mad Hat here. Um, Firstly, I want to do an update on my channel. I haven't been very active for the past few weeks, or probably months, because my hard drive died, and among other personal things. I wanted to do a video about my reactions on the shooting in Orlando, which, I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression that I'm doing this for view count or clicks or anything like that. I just would like to share some of my opinions about it and some things that, quite frankly, piss me off, disgust me, and generally just make me really sad for the state of our nation and the state of, how people view the LGBT community still in this day and time. It's kind of sad, and it's more than sad, especially considering this has been the worst mass shooting in modern American history. If you've been hiding under a rock and you don't know the exact day, last week, at a club, a gay bar called Pulse in Orlando, Florida, a man named Omar came in and basically, with a AR-15 assault rifle, killed 50 people, injured as many as 53 others. Some of which, the last time I checked, were either in critical condition or very, very various injuries. And the first thing that I want to say is I'm absolutely fucking disgusted at how some of the media is framing the discussion. Specifically, news sites like CNN, and Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, and specifically Donald Trump, that fucking asshole. He used a mass tragedy as an occasion to brag and say, "Oh, I was right about radical Muslims and Islam and keeping the Muslims out." Use a tragedy. This is not an event to be used to launch a political platform and to further your political agenda. This was a tragedy. These are somebody's sons, somebody's daughters, somebody's brothers, somebody's partners. I'm quite frankly pretty damn sure that some of the people that survived have survived a partner that was killed in the club. And just because these people are gay or bi or transgender does not mean that their love for their partners is any less real, despite what some religious people and just some people in general that are ignorant might think. As I said, I'm not using this to get view counts on my channel. I'm using this because I need to vent this, because I don't have a lot of people that I can talk to and vent this about, because a lot of people immediately around me and my family are closed-minded. My immediate family is Christian, and I don't get to see a lot of my friends anymore. So I can vent on Facebook, and I can vent on this YouTube channel, and I can just tell you some of the things that I think about this. Who do you blame besides the shooter, of course? I've seen statuses on Facebook, when a mass shooting, you don't blame the gun, you don't blame Islam or politicians or any of these things, what you do is you blame the shooter and chalk it up to the fact that he was a maniac. Well, I think it goes deeper than that. In all complete honesty, I think it goes much, much deeper than that. I think our country I'm trying to think of how to word this. I think our country is thick with the psychological atmosphere in which this kind of attitude against the LGBT community can flourish. Our country is a predominantly Christian country, a country in which was very closed off to the idea of same-sex marriage, and the LGBT community in general has been ostracized and marginalized and oppressed for many, many centuries, seen as abominable, disgusting, unworthy, nasty, AIDS-ridden. The list goes on and on. Not just by the Westboro Baptist Church, but by many of the major religions, Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, all condemn homosexuals, and gays, and transgenders, and lesbians, and tell them that they are going to burn in an everlasting hell. This alone creates the psychological soil in which hate crimes like this can flourish. Couple that with the fact that this country is fucking gun crazy. As soon as you talk about gun control, and as soon as a mass tragedy happens, you have all these Second Amendment freaks coming out of the woodwork to tell that, oh God, don't take our Second Amendment rights. They're going to take our guns. They're going to take our guns. They're going to take our guns. They're taking our guns. Oh my God, they're going to take our guns. So what? Fuck your guns. And fuck your right to carry. If we're going to misuse the privilege, then we ought to have them taken. If you're that worried about home defense, learn swordsmanship. Learn how to use a knife. If you're that worried about home defense, I don't know. I guess I'm too harsh. I don't care if you keep your fucking guns, but an assault rifle like that, an AR-15 assault rifle, is not for home defense. It's not for self-defense. It was engineered with the express purpose of killing as many people as possible. Sprays, the figure that I've seen online, sprays 13.3 bullets per second. This is insane, y'all. To think that people are defending the rights of people to own semi-automatic assault rifles. This is insane. It's purely insanity. And how we want to say and frame the discussion around radical Islam. They want to frame the discussion around ISIS. Yes, I know. He proclaimed his allegiance with ISIS. I know. I am keenly aware of this more than I should be. But it's not radical Islam or ISIS that's the main concern here. But that's what the mainstream media exactly is going to frame the discussion around ISIS. And it's going to be used, as every tragedy is used, by the fucking tyrannical government that we live under. It's going to be used to further an agenda. They're probably going to use this and any other thing that might happen regarding ISIS as an excuse to go back in and snoop around over there in the Middle East and throw down more bombs, invade more countries, establish more military bases. This isn't good. It isn't uplifting, and it makes me lose a lot of hope in humanity that things like this can still happen. To any of the victims, to the families, to the friends of the victims, to the partners of the victims, I say, my heart's with you. I don't live in Orlando. There's not much I can do directly for you guys. But I will tell you this. I'm going to be more proactive in fighting against the ignorance of people that are prejudiced against the LGBT community. I'm a fierce supporter. It's been in numerous of my videos. I stand up in solidarity for your rights and for the rights of every human being on this planet. How many mass shootings does it take before we realize that our love of guns is out of control here in the U.S.? How many hate crimes against the LGBT community have to be committed before we realize that we've had the wrong attitude about them? Yeah, the country's changing. The country is slowly, the tides have turned towards more acceptance. And as soon as that tide turns, we have things like this. We have protesters. We have people that are trying to refuse to marry same-sex couples. We have people that... the most appalling thing I've heard so far is the Westboro Baptist Church said that God sent the shooter. Welcome to America, folks. Land of the free, home of the brave. Lover of guns. Lovers of war. Lovers of ignorance in this country. Worshippers of the mass media. Worshippers of the almighty dollar. I'm going a little bit off the rails here, but I'm feeling this. This is what I'm feeling right now. Hatred is the main cause of tragedies like this. Ignorance and hatred are the main causes. We need to do something about it, folks. We need to take action. Final note. Donald Trump's the Republican nominee. If that tells you anything about the state of our nation. Fuck Donald Trump. And fuck anybody that is prejudiced against the LGBT community. Your attitude is contributing to the psychological atmosphere in which a maniac can decide it's a good idea to kill gay people. Or to kill any people for that matter. Our psychological soil of gun-toting, right-wing Christians holding a Bible in one hand and a gun in the other, preaching that gays are all going to hell. This is what creates prejudice and hatred. This is what creates gun crimes. The belief in punishment and judgment, the belief that God hates these people, or that God hates their lifestyle, or that God hates their actions, or their feelings. Drop down the guns. Throw down your arms. And rise up. Rise up with a new weapon. And that weapon's called love and truth. And that's the only weapons that are going to defeat the problems that we have. Peace, motherfuckers.